And hello to all my Sagittarius friends. I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free psychic tarot reading for October 2023. Now today they have dialed up for my great Saggies, a four-corner spread. Four-corner spread is a great spread for general readings because it looks at those four main areas that people usually ask about in tarot, which is your work corner, the financial corner, money, and health corner, and of course the infamous love corner. We're going to take a little brush stroll through all four of them for you and forecast for the month of October. See what's going on in your October, what you can be aware of and look out for. Also, they've asked that I conclude your reading at the end with something very interesting. I call it telling time. It is a window in the future, usually. Sometimes it goes backwards in time. Usually it's a forecast for the future where they want to tell you a date about something in the future, usually within the next year or so. And so not only are they going to tell us this date, but they're also going to tell us what this date is about. They're going to tell us the when and also the what. So telling time at your end of your reading, very interesting one there. We're also going to do a Rune Stone. That'll conclude the reading and tie a nice little bow around this project that we call October. Also going to go through your moon cycles. Also going to do your chemistry tracking. See what signs Saggies kicking good with in the month of October and which ones you're not so much. Also going to do your homily at the end of your reading. That's a little spiritual pep talk done by me. So let's get started right now, guys. The cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save us all a whole bunch of time. And right now I'm going to bring you in my overhead so you can watch. I like to share my table with you and show you what is going on. Hit that like button if you guys are ready to have a great October. Build up the energy in here because you know what, Saggy? Lately they have been doing you dirty and you guys have fallen behind the like contest, if you will. It's not really a contest, but it's something I noticed because likes help me out. So help me out, Saggy. You can't let them do you like that either. You got to represent for your fellow Sagittarians. Here we go. So that is my ritual cuts, guys, what I just did. They went into thirds. They went back together. That satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot. It is the same procedure for personal, private reading. So it's just like you're here with me now, and you are, as long as you hit the like button. Just kidding. Anyway, up here first, this is your work corner, and it is a big one. So we need to attach two cards to that. There we go. Chatty work corner. Firing right off the bat here, we go to love. Love shorter, much shorter there. Coming down here, this is finance, financial corner. And chatty group down there as well. And then over here, this last corner will be your health corner. Health. And chatty group there too. Okay. Well, four corners is usually a pretty quick read. You guys were a little bit more work, so that's fine. That just means we got some stuff to talk about, Saggy. No big deal. So the first thing I'm checking out are my inverts. I think everything's in screen mostly. Let me scoot this in just a tad bit there. I'm also going to take the camera off at the end and show you everything up close and personal. So first thing I'm checking are my inverts. We do have completely blocked here. We got some inverts here. Let's count how many for the whole thing. 6, 7, 8. 8 out of 11. That's enough to do a discard right now to see if the whole thing needs to be upright. And that's actually what they want. So that's going to make our job actually very easy because the order needs to stay the same, but everybody else just gets upright. So now we're not going to have to check individual stories or anything like that. Everything is just going to be read nice, clean, clear, and crisp. So there we go. Now the card work is done there. The only thing I need left, since we're not checking anything else, is just an Oracle Angel card for this Major Arcana story, which is your work corner. Big deal for you guys in work in October, and that's going to be the Breathe card right there. So let me just show you up close, and we'll get moving on it. We're ready to go. So that is that big one with work I told you about. Big corner there. Coming down to finance. I'm probably going to read these in complete opposite order as I'm showing them to you right now because I want to end with work, the big one. I want to make sure we devote it lots of time. Here's health. And that means we're going to start with love. Well, love is actually your easiest one. Just two cards there for love. So there we go. All right, Saggies, let's do it. Let's translate it, see what they got for you. Let's start with love. Don't even got to wait. We're just coming out firing with love. You do got to wait for your chemistry tracking, though. That's going to be later in your reading. So for love here, what they're showing for Saggies in the month of October is moving forward with action, but kind of going backwards in the past a little bit here. Maybe for some of you, this has to do with the work colleague, somebody you knew or met through work, something like that. Or it could just be an action going backwards with somebody from your past, that kind of a thing. Now, of course, it's different if you're single than if you're married or in a relationship, but let me cover all the ground here first. So that is mostly for my singles, of course, but this is action in that love corner regardless So what they mean, if you're married, if you're coupled up here, is that you're doing something for the family that you've done in your past before, maybe something that really benefited you or your group or your family or your loved ones, or maybe something, a fun place, for example, a fun vacation that you took before, and now you're taking your family there. So it's something that you're looking back to your past to implement into your family corner, which is your love corner. Your love corner, it's a big place. It's a big corner of your life. It is anybody close to your heart really can come in on this here. So close friends can come in for sure. Family members, distant family members, and anywhere in between, even pets. It's a good time for me to tell you about the Pet Connect, because pets do pop into the love corner too. We love our pets very much. And I just released last month a brand new service. It's called Pet Connect. I'm just going to tell you about it for like 20 seconds because I want you to check out the promo video. The promo video is riveting. It shows the responses to live Pet Connect readings that I've done, just a way to connect to your pets once they're gone, because I get asked about it all the time. Can we connect to our pets? Are they in heaven? Are they with our loved ones? All that kind of stuff. So Pet Connect can answer all that, but I want you to check that video out, and the video is going to be everywhere, guys. By the time this video launches, it'll be everywhere and easy for you to find. So anyway, that's the Pet Connect reading. So they show this action going on in this love corner for you Saggies in October, right? And they show that you are taking great pride in something here, which is great. So there's no neglect, because if this card goes like this, the way it first came in, I think that one might have been one of my inverts, that would be a more of like letting it go to hell, not so well type of deal. But they didn't show that. They wanted it this way. So they're saying that this is very well cared for. It's being very well meticulously put together right now. So maybe some of you are trying to build something in the love corner, trying to build a relationship, trying to build goals for the future, trying to build up maybe money for the family, save, something like that. So anyway, you're putting yourself on a pedestal, the family on a pedestal. You're taking great pride in something up there. So very, very good. It's coming in very nice, actually. There we go, Saggies. Let's get into health. I said health was next. Okay, so for health, they're giving us, I need to check one more thing. I just noticed I have a page hanging off the end. I just need to make sure it's not a person. They say no, perfect. Okay, so we're good. Everything I showed you is still good. First thing they come in showing about health here, guys, is to be a little defensive, be a little guarded. Border boundaries. I guess boundaries is what I was trying to say there. Know how much ice cream you can have in a week. Knowing how much carbs you should be eating. Knowing the right amount of exercise where you're not lethargic. It's kind of like knowing your body, knowing yourself, knowing what is best for your health here. Setting these healthy boundaries for yourself is what they show a lot of you doing in October. If you're already doing that, then 2 thumbs up from Spirit. You're on the right path here. Looking good, coming in great. And if you're not, well, you know what to do. The next thing they show here is good luck, good fortune with my Wheel of Fortune card. So this is basically that you are on an upswing with health. A lot of you Saggies are benefiting from great health. Maybe it's good genes, maybe it's just good timing, maybe it's just a good era, or you're just on this upswing and things are going great. So they want you to take advantage of that and build it while it's high. Okay, very important there. The last thing we show here is going to end with talking about moon cycles, because they give us early in the month here. And early in the month, we start with full moon energy, but we quickly move into new moon. But what they're talking about as far as health is concerned is that a message comes through the air. Okay, my page is my messenger and swords is my air suit, cerebral suit. So the translation there is air message. So what is an air message? Communication through the air, like a phone call, like a text message, like an email. When this comes up, I always tell people to check their old emails. And of course, if this is something about health, there's some kind of notification in there, maybe an old email that you don't check very often, that is very important. Maybe it's a 50% off coupon for some kind of supplement that you've been waiting to get, or maybe a buy one get one for a gym membership that you've been waiting to get, or something like that might be in your box. Or you might be getting a text message from a friend that's very relevant. Hey, you want to go work out with me at the gym? I can bring a friend for free, something like that. So anyway, correspondence coming in early in the month, and it's also aligning to, I would say it's more new moon energy, just because the full moon hits at the very end of the month. So let's talk about that real quick. I don't want to spend much time on the moon cycles either, because the moon cycles, I'm doing something very special for you guys with that next month. And these moon cycles this month are almost identical to September. They only changed by 1 day. There's only 1 day that changed. So when we enter October here, guys, we're under full moon energy from September that has lurked in. So early October is still a good time to get things out of your life. Purge habits, get rid of people that need to go, finish up old projects, sell stuff, get rid of emotional baggage, all that kind of stuff. Fits very well early October. When we get into mid-month there, that's when we hit our new moon hits. That's 14th. That is the best time to bring things new into your life. Doesn't matter if it's new love, if If it's something new with work, a new project with work, new budgeting for the financial corner, new diet. We talked about health stuff already. So whatever that could be, it is very new moon energy if you're trying to bring it in. And then we get into that full moon one more time at the end of the month around Halloween. It actually hits, the full moon hits on the 28th. So that is the best week there, the last week, to get things out of your life. Even better than the beginning of October. The end is going to be the apex there. It's huge. So that is the best time to sell things, get things out of your life, cut habits, the whole deal. If any of that confuses you, it's okay. I put together a moon cycle cheat sheet to make it easy for you to understand. It is a little visual aid. It is free. I update my calendar on my website every month for you guys, and it's free for you guys to use as a tool. It is parked on my Talking About page on scottsagent.com. You just go to scottsagent.com, go to the Talking About page, and you'll see those moon cycles. You cannot miss it, and that shows you how these energies go in and out, so you can use them to your benefit to attract positive change and get rid of the stuff you don't want in your life. Just helps us move things along. So let's get into that financial and work. I like to read these together, and of course your work one is a big deal. Finance, they show a lot of you here are leaving something behind you and not looking back financially. Maybe this is a spending habit. Maybe this is a bill. Maybe some of you have just paid something off. Maybe you decided, oh, I was thinking about buying a new car, but I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to drive this car until it dies. Whatever you've decided to do here, something financially there, or talking about the energy of leaving something behind you, moving forward. You're the one moving forward, and you do not look back. So I would say it's very strong energy for that, and very confident as well. And they show that maybe it's not the easiest decision for you to make here to do this financial whatever this is, because they show you do have the strength to do it though. So that kind of alludes to the fact that some of you aren't sure if you really, maybe it's a weakness for some of you, or it has been in the past. Maybe, the Amazon Prime thing has always got you in the past, or the Netflix, just keeps renewing and you keep going through it, but I don't really use it that much, or whatever it is for you here. So they're showing you have all the tools, you have all the strength to do whatever you need to do financially in October. And a lot of you are actually doing things with somebody else here. So the finances are either together, or you're working together with a checking and a savings working together, or maybe some of you have you're doing investing, where you have your main bread and butter and then you're putting some money to the side for something else, right? So they're showing two things working together. It could be people, but it could be entities as well. So that is all coming in very, very good. Any of that stuff you're already doing, 2 thumbs up. If not, you know what to do. That is the direction they're trying to push you in here. Now let's talk about that work corner. Work corner, your big one, and it's a big corner of your life too, guys, because it's not just work in the job. I mean, for most people, it is. But work corner, it's a big place. It is work, business, enterprise, area of study, collegiate courses, retirement. If you're of that age, the stuff that you do now that you used to do while you work, that time is being spent for what? Of course, college courses, learning new things, hobbies and interests, entrepreneurship. So you can see a lot of things fall under this umbrella of the work corner. Now, what they talk about first here, guys, is doing things the right way. There can be no cutting corners right now with work, no slacking, no cheating the system, so to speak. You got to be very thorough. I'm not sure why that is for you specifically, but just heed the warning, okay? You want to do things on the up and up in October. Maybe in November you can go back to slacking or something like that, but not now in October. For whatever reason, there is something that you need to be very thorough about. This can also be the energy of taking care of your people, taking care of your coworkers. Maybe some of you are the boss and you need to take care of your co-workers and the people under you in some kind of way that I don't understand necessarily right here looking at this card, and maybe it's the other way around. Maybe some of you are, you got to help your boss out in a big way here. So it's taking care of the group and working together is the camaraderie they show there for the work corner. A lot of you are working with other people. The next thing they show here is a lot of you also have a very bad mentality with something here, and it's more than likely you got your feelings hurt or something bad has happened that you just don't feel very good about. Kind of hurts your feelings a little bit there. Something of that, vibe, of that energy is what they show here. So what Spirit is saying is, you really just got to cut this rain cloud out of your life. It's not worth worrying about. It's a little stupid human drama stuff, really, more than likely. And basically they're saying you have rewards. There's good to this story. There's good things here. All you got to do is look right behind you. You got to turn away from the bad, turn toward the good, focus on that, and that's what you'll end up attracting. Speaking of attracting, they showed my Magician next, which is my Attractor card. He's the manifester of the universe. He is the magician. He can make anything out of nothing. So it's very much the magical aspect of things. So you guys have a very powerful work corner, and Spirit has made it very clear that you can make this whatever you want it to be. Okay, so you are designing this with your consciousness, co-creating, designing the work, job, enterprise that you're trying to do here. And it's coming in very good. Now, of course, might not feel that way because they show breathe. So there's going to be a level of stress, a level of anxiety, something going on in October that you're not feeling very well. And it could be what they described with the mentality of just kind of hanging your head down, looking at the bad side of things. So they want you to breathe. They want you to relax, get a little kind of zenned out with work type of deal in the month of October. It'll be okay. And remember that you are the premier manifester of your own life. And that is also very new moon energy. So anything with the work corner you're trying to do, especially if it's new, focus on the middle of October, and that'll just help make that creativity kick and stick a little bit more. So there you go. There's your four corners, guys. Very good four corners, I must say. Let's get into some Rune Stone. I like to pull the Rune Stone while I'm looking at all the cards. They're already mixed up. I will give them one more swirl though. And Saggy Rune Stone is going to be this one right here. Hold it the right way. This is the Rune Stone of defense. Defense. We talked about that directly in the health corner. It may apply to other corners too. I'll kind of do a little walk through all of them, but for health is what it stands out for me the most because that was the first card that came in, is setting these boundaries. That is playing defense. It is letting things play out in front of you, knowing when to move here. Basically not go on the attack, go on the offensive, but it's saying, hey, you got to figure this stuff out. Let it play out in front of you a little bit here, and these healthy boundaries is what it's all about there. So there's defense there. Defense, I don't think it applies so much to the love corner because they show action going on there, so that they don't really show any kind of, that's more offensive, to be quite honest. So I think the defense was a focus on health. And let's check these other corners too. For financial, the defense might be sticking with this decision to leave something behind and just being very thorough about it. Speaking of thorough, we talked about thorough up with the work corner and being, very, no toxicity up there. It's got to be done the right way with stuff. So you want to be defensive about kind of your mentality with your things that you're doing too. So be very thorough. There's a reason they're telling you to be defensive, okay? And not so much basically be more reactive instead of proactive, but be ready for it, okay? So that's the key. So there's your Rune Stone, guys. Let's get into your chemistry tracking. Chemistry tracking, I do the card work ahead of time, so we're just talking about it. That saves us all a bunch of time. I'd be flipping more cards, and this reading would be another, 10 minutes. So let's just get talking about what they said for Saggy. They gave you both, wouldn't you know? Now, Saggy, they say to expect a weaker connection here with other Cancers, okay? Saggy is just not kicking it well with Cancer in the month of October. Might be butting heads with Cancers. Maybe the energy's a little off, a little weird, funky, something like that. Maybe no big deal, but hey, you know what? It's just probably not the greatest and most ideal. Next, we move into strong Sagittarius. They show you have a strong connection with Scorpios. Scorpio is coming in very hot for Sagittarius. That is important for my singles. Be on the lookout for Scorpios. Good matches there, especially for October. And for everybody else, if you have a Scorpio in your life, I would just expect a really great relationship. Good bond, good camaraderie, having a good time together. So there you have it, Saggy. A little repel from Cancer, a little attract from Scorpio. So let's get into your extra spread, which is telling time. I normally would reshuffle here, but I noticed that I did not use any of my aces or that many cards for you. So we're kind of right on that cusp, but since I didn't use my aces, which are the target for telling time, I'm just going to run it just the way it is. So we're going to get moving. Here we go. Telling time. First, I need to tell you, Telling Time is available as a personal private product on scottsagent.com. Telling Time answers the question when. If you have a when type of based question for the future, usually within about a year from now. If it's something that you've been waiting to do, for example, when should I go looking for a new job? When would be the best time for me to get in a relationship? When is the best time for me to sell my house? Something like that. If it answers the question when, Telling Time does it. So here is your Telling Time, guys. It's done in rounds. The first round here, if we get a date, this just means for Saggies that this date is so important, you cannot miss it. The severity of it is very high. So here we go. And we may not get anything. So far, we do not have it. There we go. Right at the end there, we got our date. And it's just going to be one thing they want to talk about here. So it's going to be this guy right here. I'm going to tack on time to it right there. 3 tacked on. Let's see what it's about right there. And also with an Oracle Angel card. What it's about. I'm actually going to need one more of these. All right. So I'm going to cut away to do some math to add this up for you. Some calculations. Save you some time. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I am back with your Telling Time. This is a very interesting one because this is very soon here. This is October 24th. So depending on when you're viewing this video, it is like right around the corner here, guys. So they're making a huge priority toward this date, toward doing this one thing this month. So what is that one thing? Let's figure out what that is. And first of all, October 24th may not be the exact date. That is the target date. I like to wrap a week around there. So let's call it maybe the 20th through the 27th. So right toward the end of October is what we're keying in on. Now what they want you to do here is take some kind of action. Not necessarily action in the physical world. They want you to make the action up here. This is more of a mind deciding, making up your mind about something. And then after that, you can put that into play into the real world. But first comes here. You need to make up your mind about something here in the next couple weeks, guys. This is hugely important. What they say it is something that you have not really been authoritative about, something that you have not really put the effort into and been the boss with. So maybe for some of you it has to do with some kind of business venture, but something you've kind of let go is what they're talking about. This needs immediate attention, guys. It cannot wait. And basically they're showing how severe this is by saying between worlds. Like this can be the difference of something really good happening for you and something really terrible by not addressing this, not getting this done, whatever this authority is. They're saying, hey, step up, get this action going up here by October. October is the time, guys, and they reinforce that with your telling time. So a very interesting way to kind of conclude what has been a very intriguing reading for Sagittarius, I must say. And now we're going to conclude with homily. I hope you enjoy it. Hey guys, Scott Sagent here, and it is time for your homily 2023 October edition. Today I want to talk a little bit about a realization I had, kind of an inspiration through a tarot card, and it was the Three of Wands. I'm going to float a little picture of it up on the screen here for you so you can see what I'm talking about. This is the Three of Wands from what I call my brown tarot deck. I think it depicts the picture very well, and I'm doing the background here to try to match the energy of that as well here for you too. So anyway, this realization I had is that this woman looking out on the edge of a waterway, maybe in some decks it's a cliff, basically the end of your property, looking out to what chapter is next. It also has to do about chapters in your life. So what is coming next for you? And it made me realize how many people actually don't do things. We wait until the right time to do things. Well, as Buddha says, the mistake that people make is thinking that they have time. And, I terribly misquoted that, I'm sure, but you get the gist, is people put things off and then they end up never doing it. If you go and ask anybody who's successful in a business or who's, gone back to school to take accreditation for a credit course or something they need for college or a master's degree or something like that, anybody who's gone back and done the work, if you go and ask them, hey, do you wish you would have waited to do that a little bit longer? Or do you wish you would have done it earlier? They're either going to tell you that they're happy they did it when they did it, or they wish they would have done it earlier. There's almost nobody who says, oh, you know what? I wish I would have taken that dream trip to Europe, a few years after the fact that I did it. No, most people would have liked to have gone earlier. Maybe they found something they really like there and would really like to go back and see again. Well, that never happens if you wait for too long, right? And it's just like another silly example, of course, but it's I just discovered a new restaurant nearby my house that I really like. It's actually like a Oriental buffet, and in my head I'm just thinking, all the buffets are the same. They're similar. They're almost all, a little bit different here, a little bit different there, but overall it's the same idea, same concept. Well, I went and I tried this place, and it blows everything else away that I've ever eaten in the area. So this is something, for example, if I had discovered this Oriental buffet the last couple weeks of when I was living in the town that I'm living in, I would have been very upset. I'd be like, oh man, I could have been coming here this whole time. I could have been coming here for years. And instead, I missed this opportunity because I just waited forever. And it's just like so many people want to start businesses and never do. I know somebody who wanted to make candles. They go and buy all the supplies, have everything ready to make a candle business, and then never made a single candle. And it's just like, why? Why wait for the opportune time that may or may not ever come? And just like this card is showing this woman looking out onto the, expanse of the horizon, what is next? Well, what next for you is what's important for you. And the only thing that I would try to encourage from this homily is to not wait for too long, because you never know the timing. The timing sometimes has to be better than it does, if the timing is way off, of course, that's a different deal. But for most people, the timing's either they're unsure of it for other reasons. Maybe they're holding themselves back. That's what happens most of the time. We are our own worst enemies at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, you also need to take risks. You need to do things while you still have the time. And the time is now if you're thinking about it right now. And that's even further reiteration of why you need to go and do things somewhat presently. You don't want to wait for too long. You never know what's going to change between now and then. If you want to go start a business, go start a business. If you want to go start a gym membership or go start a new health kick, go do that. Don't just wait around forever to do it. Wait for the right time. Sometimes you just got to take that little leap of faith. And of course, it is never too late in life. But remember that it is also never too early. So I hope you've enjoyed your homily. I hope you guys have enjoyed the reading as well. Please remember to like and subscribe. I do these every single month. Take care. Have a great October. I know you will.
So I guess the fortune teller's right.